Okay, we're now going to learn how to find the area of a trapezium. The area of a trapezium, we follow a formula just like all the area of other shapes. However, I've noticed that a lot of students, when they are working out the area of a trapezium, they can't identify whether the shape is a trapezium or not. So first, we're going to learn how to identify if a shape is a trapezium. Let's look at the diagrams. A trapezium, the property it has, the feature it has, is that it has one pair of parallel lines. That's it, one pair. So if you see a quadrilateral, a four-sided shape, and it has one pair of parallel lines, straight away think this is a trapezium. This is how we find out and we identify whether a shape is a trapezium or not. Whenever you think or you see a shape, a four-sided figure, and it has one pair of parallel lines, you know straight away it is a trapezium. So here, let's look at one example of a trapezium. This here we can see that this is a four-sided shape. And does it have one pair of parallel lines? Yes, it does, marked with an A and a B. This is a trapezium. Another way, we have another shape, four-sided. Does it have one pair of parallel lines? Yes, it does, again marked with A and B. Another shape, we can see here, again a four-sided shape, one pair of parallel lines. Again, it's a trapezium. A trapezium has one pair of parallel lines. Once we identify that a shape is a trapezium, it has one pair of parallel lines, we can use the formula for a trapezium. The formula is half times h, which is the height, and then in brackets a plus b. In brackets a plus b. This is simple. The a and b are the two parallel lines. The A and B are the two parallel lines. Once we can identify the A and B, the parallel lines, the height is the difference between the A and the B. The difference between the A and the B. So we can see A and B are the parallel lines. We can also see the H marked in red. It is the difference in the distance between the two parallel lines, and it is marked with a H. Very important. Once you can identify it's a trapezium, you then look for the parallel lines. A and B are the parallel lines, and the H, the height, is the difference between, the distance between A and B, as you can see marked with a red H to identify the height between the A and B. So the formula, half times H, brackets, A plus B, close bracket. We have the formula. It is simple. However, now we're going to use some examples to work them out. Again, look for a trapezium. How do you know it has one pair of parallel lines? Let's do some examples now. Okay, now let's work out the area of a trapezium. Looking at the figure first, we can see that we have two parallel lines. Parallel line, parallel line. Straight away we can identify this is a trapezium. It has one pair of parallel lines. These two are not parallel. We have one pair of parallel lines. Straight away we know this is a trapezium. We know the formula now. A equals half H A plus B. A stands for the area, half times the height, and A plus B are in brackets. We need to know and easily identify the A and B. All the time, the A and B are the parallel lines. Whenever you see a trapezium, the A and B are the parallel lines. A and B. A and B, or A and B, doesn't really matter as long as you know A and B are the parallel lines. Now the H. The height is always the vertical height. We always mention when we're working with area and we're working with height, it is always the vertical height, straight down. This is the vertical height, not this one here. This is slanting. This is our vertical height. It meets the base, or it meets the bottom with right angle. So we know it is vertical, it is 90 degrees, it is perpendicular. So perpendicular meaning it is 90 degrees. It meets 90 degrees there. that is our height, that is our h. So this is our h, this is our a, and this is our b, this side there. We can now work it out. Area equals half times the height. The height is 5. It's the difference, it's the distance between the two parallel lines. The distance between the two parallel lines. H is 5. A plus B. A is 10 and B is 8. Okay, put it in your calculator. Half times 5 times 10 plus 8, close the bracket. We know we get our answer. Once you put it in, straight away you're going to get 45. And we know the measurements are in centimeters. 45 square centimeters. That's the area, everything inside this trapezium, 45 square centimeters. Very easily, half times 5, open bracket, 10 plus 8, close the bracket. Put it in your calculator, 45 square centimeters. Remember, we always put our units and its area, so we have to put squared. Very important. This is our answer for the first trapezium. Now let's do another one. We have another trapezium. What do you notice? It has the same shape as this one here, but it's been rotated. That's all. So don't get confused. Once you see trapezium, you can straight away identify it from the two parallel lines. Two parallel lines meaning it is a trapezium. Just because it's been rotated, it doesn't matter. Don't get scared, don't worry at all. As long as you can identify the two parallel lines, straight away this is a trapezium. The two parallel lines are our A and our B. And where is our height? We know the height is the difference. It's the distance between the two parallel lines. There it is. Our height is 7. Now we identified our height. A here and B there. We know straight away these are the parallel lines and this is our height. We can now work it out. Half, and we know height A plus B. Half times the height we know is 7. Brackets A plus B. A is 10 and B is 9. Once again, grab your calculator, half times 7, open bracket, 10 plus 9, close bracket. Very important not to forget the brackets. I've seen students, they forget to write the brackets and they get the answer wrong. Very important, you have to show the brackets, and some calculators you need to put a times here, no problem. 10 times, or half times 7 times, open bracket, 10 plus 9, close bracket. You're going to get 66.5 square centimeters. Always remember the squared. That's our answer. 66.5 square centimeters is the area inside this trapezium. Let us do another example or two. Okay, another example. We have a trapezium. Again, it looks different. However, we know a trapezium has two parallel lines, number 1 and number 2. We know that the parallel lines are our A and B. So that's our A and that's our B. Our formula, half H A plus B. Notice how I always write the formula. It helps me memorize it all the time. So it always show the formula. Even when you work it out and in a test you make a mistake down the bottom, at least you're going to get marks for writing the correct formula. So always write the formula down. Half times H. H, where is it? It's the difference between A and B. It's the distance between A and B. There it is. It's the 5. And we notice it is vertical, not the slant. Okay, very important. It is this one here. So 5, there it is. A and B, 15 plus 9. And again, put it in your calculator. Half times 5, open bracket. 15 plus 9, close the bracket. Always, when you put it in, double check your calculator. It's so easy to make mistakes. Double check, and you should get 60 square centimeters. So the area of this trapezium, the area inside, is 60 square centimeters. Very important formula, working out answer. You'll always get full marks for showing your formula, your working out, and your answer. Let's do another one. Again, we have a quadrilateral, a four-sided shape. And when we look carefully, we have to always, as I tell students, zoom into the diagram. Check it out carefully and see, identify what kind of quadrilateral is it. What formula am I going to use? Here we can straight away identify two parallel lines. Straight away, two parallel lines, we need to remember it is a trapezium. So parallel line here, parallel line there, it is a trapezium. Half h a plus b. And we know this can be our a and this can be our b. There it is. And our h is the difference. It's the distance between a and b. The distance, there it is. It is vertical. It is perpendicular with both a and b. So right angle here and right angle there. This is our height. Half times the height. The height is 18. A and B are 7 plus 9. Again, in your calculator, half times 18, open bracket, 7 plus 6. See how easy it is to make a mistake? Very easy. Got to be careful. Very important. It's 7 plus 6. So always very, very important. Even teachers can make a mistake. So it's always important to double check your work. Half times 18, open bracket, 7 plus 6, close bracket. This is 7 and this is 6. Our height is 18. What do we do now? We put in our calculator. Double check. When you put in your calculator, you should get 117 square centimeters. Half times 18, open bracket, 7 plus 6, close bracket, 117 square centimeters. Double check your work all the time. As I tell students, as I mentioned to you, always zoom in, look at the diagram carefully, identify what shape it is, remember the formula, put in and substitute the information. That's our height, that's our A and B. Put them in your calculator and you get your answer straight away. And again, units squared. Very important. This is how to work out the area of a trapezium.